A client that aborts at 300 milliseconds leaves a 400 millisecond write still holding a worker, and then it sends the write again. A timeout plus a retry is new load on the same 4 workers. 12 clients doing that turn one wave into 2 unless the client bounds itself. The client sets a timeout. The write still holds a worker for about 400 milliseconds. A client that aborts at 300 milliseconds leaves that worker busy and then sends the write again. 12 clients doing that turn one stampede into 2. 300 milliseconds is shorter than the hold, so the abort never sees the release. The worker does not learn that the client gave up. Without a bound, every 503 becomes another attempt. 12 clients that retry on workers busy can produce 16 busy answers from one wave. Each extra attempt is work the endpoint made for itself. 16 busy answers from 12 clients is the endpoint taxing itself. Rate limiting in front cannot help if the client keeps coming. Backoff grows the wait. The first retry waits a short time. The second retry waits longer. The third retry waits longer still. The waits double from 0.2 of a second to 0.4 to 0.8, so each gap is large enough for a 400 millisecond write to finish. The workers get a gap in which a slot can free. A wait of 0.2 is still shorter than the hold, so the later doubles are the ones that open a slot. Jitter is a small random extra wait, so 12 timers do not wake on the same instant. If every client backs off to the same instant, the second wave is another stampede. A small random extra wait spreads the wake. The pool sees a trickle instead of a wall. Without jitter, 12 clients share one clock and become one wave again. A retry budget is a hard stop. 3 retries means 4 attempts, then stop. The budget is counted in attempts, not in hope. When the budget is spent, we surface the error and we stop hitting post/reset. The budget is the client half of the contract and the server limiter is the other half. An idempotency key on post/reset makes a retry the same write. The client sends one key with the first attempt, and with every retry, the server stores that key, and the second attempt returns the first result. 2 attempts do not create 2 reset rows. The server looks up the key before it hashes, so the second attempt does not write a second row. 2 rows would be 2 reset emails, and the key is how we keep one. Backoff, jitter, and a retry budget belong on the client. The idempotency key belongs on the right. Rate limiting on the server still sits in front. The server limiter is not the client budget, and none of those pieces replace the others. A token bucket can refuse, and a retry budget can stop, and those are different stops. A timeout plus a retry is new load. Backoff grows the wait. Jitter stops 12 clients waking together. A retry budget is a hard stop. An idempotency key on post/reset keeps a retry as one write. The server limiter is not enough if the client retries without a retry budget. 300 milliseconds versus 400 milliseconds is why the first retry exists at all. Thank you.